Good evening and welcome. You are watching the big story on NDTV Profit and I'm Nupur Suri. Well, going into the festive season, car dealerships in India are saddled with record high inventory of 7.9 lakh units worth 79,000 crore rupees. That's 80 to 85 days of unsold stock. Now, car makers have piled into dealerships ahead of the festive season, anticipating a bumper demand for the next 1 month or so, while recalibrating sales to match demand. Still, car retail sales slumped nearly 20% last month. On today's big story, we will be looking at how the festive season is likely to shape up for the world's third largest automotive industry. In fact, there are three big questions that we're going to be asking this evening. Number one, will inventory be wiped out by the end of the festive season? Number two, are dealers under pressure due to the inventory build-up that we are seeing? And finally, of course, the question that every customer will want an answer to: will festive discounts lead to higher sales, and what kind of discounts are we going to be looking at? Well, joining me in the studio currently is Tushar Singh, who covers the auto sector for NDTV Profit. Hi, Tushar. Thanks for joining in. Tushar, to begin with, to explain to our viewers what these numbers actually mean, how are they looking, and what do you anticipate in terms of demand coming out of the festive season?
So, Nupur, let's first set the context first. We are entering into a period of of the year where Indian automakers clock about 30% of the annual sales from about 1 month alone. Generally, automakers build inventory at the dealership end, anticipating that higher demand that comes during the festive season month. That is about 2 months. So they stock for 2 months for the bumper demand that's going to come. This time, that is set at about 80 to 85 days. And the value is at about 79,000 crore rupees. And the number of vehicles that are parked at dealerships is at about 7.9 lakh units, which actually is about a fifth of the total volumes the industry did in the last fiscal. So numbers-wise, a very difficult scenario for automakers at this point of time. But the FADA is actually confident that the volumes will start coming in. We spoke with CS Vigneshwar, FADA President, earlier today, and he said that in the last 1 week or so, inquiries as well as bookings have jumped fourfold over the past 1 month. So some green shoots visible, but we'll have to see how that festive season pans out, and that's why we're here.
Oh, yes, absolutely. So it's not looking too good at this point in time, is what you are saying. I just quickly wanted to understand from you, what are the kind of discounts that automakers are given out, because that's perhaps going to drive a bit of the sales that we see.
Absolutely.
Apart from the fact that, the period of mourning, which is the Pitru Paksh, is now over, so people will obviously go out to buy cars and, of course, other things as well.
So, so the inauspicious period that was in the month of September was one of the reasons why people delayed their purchases, so to speak, to the festive month, and that's what they do. But we also have to remember that Ganesh Chaturthi and as well as Onam was in the month of September in the two biggest states as far as sales is concerned, in Maharashtra as well as in Kerala. So still the volumes were down, the retail volumes were down about 20%. So what we are looking at is that the demand seems to be a problem. People were not going to the showrooms to buy vehicles and not the registrations. That's why I have declined about 20%. So the picture is not looking rosy, so to speak, for car makers. But to their credit, they have started recalibrating to meet the demand scenario at this point of time.
All right, and in fact, to answer all those questions, we are also now joined by Gaurav Vangaal. He's the principal analyst at S&P Global, and Vinkesh Gulati. He's the former president of FADA, or the Federation of Automobile Dealership Association. Good evening, gentlemen. Thank you very much for joining us on the show. Mr. Gulati, to you first. Now, the inventory levels are, of course, at record highs. Are you hopeful that the festive season will bring bumper sales? But at the outset, the data that's come in from the FADA doesn't look very encouraging, does it?
Thanks for having me. Nupur, we are at the cusp of the festive season. So practically it's now 4 days gone by, and the kind of inquiries and then the kind of deliveries that has been started, I'm not pure negative. No doubt we are cautiously optimistic, as FADA report has said, because we are sitting on a huge inventory. No doubt we are having this phenomenon of both the festive important period in a month after 3 years. And I feel this will be the best ever month till date for auto, which is going on, because we have Dhanteras and Navratri same. And luckily, Diwali is on first, so all the deliveries of Diwali will also come into this month only. So overall, yes, we are a bit in a position of cautious, but the things are positive as of now. The first 3 days of or 4 days of Navratri has gone really good, and we have seen a great deliveries happening, bookings happening also. And as the day is going on, so normally if I see these 9 days are good, but Ashtami is the best, and we are seeing a lot of customers booking for delivery on Ashtamis also. So overall a positive situation, but yes, how much positive? That's a question where even Tushar said about the interview of Vignesh, that we are expecting good, but will we be able to cover up the kind of inventory we are covering? That is where we are being very cautious and feeling a challenge.
All right, let's also bring in Mr. Vangaal into this. Mr. Vangaal, how do you see these numbers that have come in? Of course, the demand not looking too robust. And what, according to you, could perhaps be the reasons behind this, I don't want to call it a slump, but perhaps a bit of a low?
See, one of the major reason, Nupur, is the high inventory or on the high base of last year. Okay, this is one of the major reason that we are sitting on a very high base. Now, demand is there. It's not that demand is not there, but yes, inventory is going very high because of the high production rates. And I think FADA is already mentioning multiple times that we need to cut the production, and even we expect that the production is going to reduce in coming months. We are expecting in September month has not been production has not been out yet, but we are expecting a negative production numbers in September also, and we are also expecting a negative numbers in the October also. So inventory wise, you will get a relief, whereas in the demand side, we expect that because of the festive season, as Mr. Vinkesh has also mentioned, this time Dussehra, Diwali, Dhanteras, everything is falling on the in this month. So I would say that demand is going to remain in this month, but yes, in the longer run, in the quarter wise, we need to see how the festive season picks up. We are expecting inventory correction, and we need to see that how production ramp up is expected to go after November. So quarter four, which is a calendar year quarter four, this quarter and the next quarter will be tight for the car makers on the production side, because they also understand the pressure of inventory coming out of the dealers.
Hi, Mr. Vangaal, Tushar here. You raised a very pertinent question about recalibrating production. Actually, I'll take that question and pose it to Mr. Gulati, actually. Hi, Mr. Gulati. So what are your conversations with auto OEMs looking like at this point of time? Are they working with you to recalibrate the situation, just to ease off the pain that you have? Do you expect the inventory to wipe out by the end of this bumper festive season, so to speak, given all the three festivals are together?
So, Tushar, a very pertinent question today, but let us be very clear. There's nothing called being wiped out.
Okay.
As Gaurav very categorically said that they have taken a bit of a cut in September, but he didn't mention you that that bit of a cut is 0 to 1 or 2%, whereas the retails down is minus 19%, as our report says, if I'm not wrong, minus 19 or some, yeah, 18.81%, which means that minus 102 and minus 18, the gap has increased the inventory. I'm sure October, they will surely take some cut, but I am expecting again the cut to be 0 to 5%. The retail will obviously grow in a great double-digit thing, because as we are seeing the single month having both the festive, but thinking that at the end of November, so what normally happens every year that dealers create an inventory pre 1 month before of the festive, and as the festive ends, our inventory comes to normal 25 to 30 days. This is where the problem is. We don't want that the inventory to be wiped out, but we want at least after the festive we reach 21 to 25 days, because obviously November is there and then December comes in, where that wind change pressure starts over, where every customer wants in January a new model. So the pressure on us will be great. So if we enter November with a 21 to 25 days inventory is great. But I don't feel so with going through. The growth is great, no doubt. We are expecting a good growth. But will the inventory be rationalized to a good level? That is where our major concerns are.
Okay, so are you expecting that 25 days to happen? I have another question after you answer this.
That is where we are saying that it doesn't look like it. We are still hoping and keeping our fingers crossed that maybe the way OEMs are thinking that growth will happen in this month, maybe that or more than that happens, and then we are able to reduce the inventory. But it looks a bit doubtful.
So it's looking like a long tail is what you're suggesting at this point in time.
Yeah.
Gaurav, Vangaal, coming back to you, what's your sense on rural growth? Now, we are seeing the numbers picking up as far as two-wheeler sales are concerned. What's your sense over there?
No, on the rural side, I would say that I may not able to comment on this specifically towards two-wheeler, but yes, I can tell you that in the four-wheeler also, maybe Mr. Vinkesh can add on here. We are expecting a comeback in this month from both sides, so not on the rural side, even at the urban side. And just to add on, we are confident because you know that the rainfall was good this year, the monsoon was good, so we are expecting that some seasonal impact. After the seasonal impact, there should be a growth coming back to the rural market. But yes, two-wheeler are the first indicators that rural is doing good. But it will take time. It will take time to move towards the car side in a robust sense, I would say. As far as I just wanted to add one thing here. As far as we were talking about the wiping of the inventory, we don't believe that it is going to happen the 20-25 days. It happened, I think, during the post-COVID earlier months, but after that I think we are fine with the 40-45 days. Today we are sitting at 80-85 days, which FADA reports itself says. I don't think that it is going to go below 60 days anyhow. We are, and I believe the car makers are comfortable between 45 to 60 days maintaining the inventory. But even though they are already contradicting the numbers of the high numbers of 80-85 days, which other agencies reports. I think car makers have very clearly said that they are not sitting with such high inventories, and the production cuts, whatever the production cuts is going to happen in next this month or the last month, I think this is not going to go below the or this is not going to meet the expectation which Vinkesh sir was mentioning just now.
Right, absolutely. Mr. Gulati, would you like to just quickly take over on the rural demand side of it? Are there indications coming in that might now be picking up? Of course, two-wheelers are the first segment that one looks at when one sort of talks of rural demand. So what's your sense on that?
So yes, Nupur, this is right. In two-wheeler, we are clearly seeing rural ratio going up. And if I talk about June was two-wheeler ratio of rural was some 41.4%. It has now inched up to 46.9%. So pre-COVID, it was more than 50, which came down post-COVID. But now, as slowly and steadily rural is coming up, the purchasing power is going up. So in two-wheeler, it is clearly evident. And now the gap between rural and urban is very less. Rural is around 47 and urban is 53, which I'm confident this month also we'll see a bit of uptick in rural again. And till March, it could go up. But yes, in passenger vehicle, the rural growth is not, it is growing, but it is not growing in such a big way where it can make a difference, because post-COVID, we have seen all premium cars or better feature cars or those selling with a lot of features. So obviously, the price gap has increased as compared to pre-COVID. So I feel after two-wheelers, slowly and steadily, cars will also see from the rural side growth happening.
So, Mr. Gulati, coming to you again. So, what are people buying at this point of time? You say there is rural growth coming back. We have seen two-wheeler sales growing up. So, what are they buying? Is it SUV all across, or people are going back to small cars now, especially in the rural areas?
So it's a mixed bag here again. Rural market doesn't go to very premium cars, so it's normally purchase happening uh, 15 lakh and below. What was happening pre-COVID was their average purchase was around 5 or 6 or 7 lakhs. The highest being Boleros at 10, 12 lakhs. But now with all those new compact SUVs coming in, Mahindra launching such great products, there also the average price has gone up. So there are a lot of customers who are going in for products which are from 12 to 15 lakh also. But yes, still their major price or average price is still below around 2 to 3 lakh below what all India average is. So we see a lot of Marutis going on. The product which is the small compact SUV, which you can say, not the bigger ones, going through more. But yes, they are also upgrading with the latest features and the price competitive what we have seen. And for the past 2 months, if you see how many OEMs coming in with price cuts of their product to catch on this festive hike, so they are also getting that benefit out of it.
All right. Coming back to you, Mr. Vangaal, that point that he made, are we seeing a decisive shift in demand towards perhaps bigger cars, more compact SUVs? Is that the sense that you get? Because everywhere you see in big cities, everybody seems to be looking out for an SUV, a compact SUV. So do you see Indians moving perhaps to those compact SUVs, or is it too early perhaps to gauge that? Do you see that shift coming back to smaller cars?
No, we don't expect the shift which has already happened towards SUV is going to turn around. Now, what we are expecting in the next 3 to 4 years, that because people have moved from the hatchback to the entry segment SUVs or the B segment SUVs like Creta, maybe in the next 3 to 5 years, you will see the people are further moving towards upward. So you will see the C segment SUVs like XUV 700 is going to be in product action. So multiple car makers are expected to launch new products in the C segment. So you will clearly see the trend move upward trend of the consumer in Indian market. So in the Indian market, the consumer is actually getting matured. They are looking for the better products. They are looking for the better technologies, platforms, features. So I don't see that it's going back, even though we understand there is a transformation impact expected specifically towards technology. And when I say this, I mean to say that we need to see how the powertrain technologies are going to turn around in 2027-28. So the consumer might move towards the smaller cars if they are getting a better fuel efficiency, maybe from some of the range exchangers or some from the hybrid vehicles or the EV prices goes down further down. So that time we can see the hatchbacks are again back, but till that time I think SUVs are in the favorable spot.
Yeah, I think you have a question. Yeah, go ahead.
Mr. Vangaal, you raised a very interesting point of the powertrain at this point of time. Maruti Suzuki already saying that about a third of their volumes is coming from CNG. The hybrid sales is going through the roof. What is the trend that you are expecting that will happen? That petrol will keep on going down? Can we expect petrol volumes to come down to 50% of the market? And these alternate fuels, EV, CNG, as well as hybrid, accounting for 50% in, say, the next 5 years by 2030?
Currently, I can't comment directly on it, but I know that CNG is increasing from 17% to 24%, 23, 24% by 2030. But yes, hybrids are expected to increase, but there is another technology which is a range extender, which we say. I think this technology will definitely help hybrids to move further, and EV is already we are expecting, because we are expecting a lot of production to have is going to kick off after the PLI scheme kicked off in next coming year. So we will see the production volumes and the sales volume of EVs to grow in coming years. But yes, we need to see that how the consumer is going to adopt. And you know that Indian consumer is not now cost conscious, now a value conscious. And if consumer moves toward hybrid, if consumer move towards EVs, then I think car makers are already ready. And most of the car makers are going and investing in every technology right now.
All right, Vinkesh Gulati, if I could, just get a sense of the premium segment now. We've seen a steady rise in numbers over there. It's been a different story altogether. Even in times of slumps, we've seen that segment grow considerably. Is that the sense that you still have, perhaps over the festive season, maybe, going into next year as well?
Yeah, you are right. Premium has not seen the dip ever yet. A bit of in some months of COVID it was, but overall not. And it's continuing that streak. And I feel the kind of launches and the kind of advancement the premium has seen, no other segment has seen after Kia came up with Seltos some 3 years back. You see 12 products being launched by one single manufacturer in a month. Practically, if you see talking about electric vehicle, most of the launches we are seeing is in the premium side. If I talk on the ratio, I'm not saying on the volume. And the major upheaval or the disruption in product quality and the upgradation and electric vehicle being similar priced as size is happening on the premium side, and the customers are going ahead for it. No doubt, we have seen that the HNIs or the bigger pure richer class is very open, and the price average has gone to the top now, and still the customer eyeing for that. And the kind of waiting period we see there, the numbers of order book taken at the launch and being blocked after that, where they get some 3-year, 4-year product line sold on the booking. I feel premium as of now is on the best price, and it will continue to do for at least a year or two. And let's see what happens post that.
Bigger homes, bigger cars, and better lifestyle, Mr. Gulati, is that what Indians are looking at? One question that everybody who's watching the show will want to know, what are the kind of discounts that people can expect going into the festive season? There have been some, great sales pitches that have been made. Is that going to continue? And give us a sense what we're going to see.
I'm sorry, but Nupur, if I may add there, Mr. Gulati, are you open to discounts as a dealer? I'm speaking to you as a dealer. Discounts can be a double-edged sword.
So Tushar, very frankly, the schemes are already in the newspaper. Everybody knows that. So there is nothing new happening there. But the kind of report when you see FADA coming up with 7.9 lakh vehicles, that is where the dealers start putting in the money what is needed. Nupur, I'll divide this question into 3 parts. So there are 3 categories in the car. One is which is still having a waiting period. It could be a same model, but some variants have a waiting period, some variants don't. So obviously, if there is any product which is in a waiting period, don't expect discounts. You are getting a product, any customer should go for it if you are wanting that product. But if you are still thinking that you can shift your choices, maybe powertrain, maybe features, then you should go in for the vehicles which are selling. So one is waiting period products, the other is the third one is slow moving, and in between is the products which are needed also and still in the stock because of high inventory. I feel those products will get the best deal today, because slow running products normally are always at best or discount because the aging is high. People are standing at 90 to 180 days of those win-wise aging. So this time is the best, and dealers are opening up all their coffer to give discounts to get out, because this is the time when even along with the fast moving product, the slow moving also can be moved, influencing the customers. And at that time, there are some customers who are open for discount discount bargaining. They do come down in their feature things, colors, even variants to get a better discount. And I feel this is the best time where a customer can get the best deal, but only on the slow-moving parts and the normal vehicles which are in stock. For the still waiting period, I feel whatever you are able to get, even it meets your requirement, please go ahead for it. Don't bargain.
Okay. All right. A final question to both of you gentlemen. Which companies do you think will turn out as winners and, if I may say, losers after the festive season? Mr. Vangaal, will come to you first.
No, I may not, because everybody, I will not like to comment here. But yes, the companies, those who have a good products, like Mahindra is standing out right now with the Thar Rocks, and we are struggling with the high production ramp-ups for the Thar Rocks. So I would say that, and they are pretty well with the XUV 3XO also. So I think they are in the good position right now. The companies, those who do not have major product launches this year, I think they're going to struggle.
Mr. Gulati, your take.
So Tushar, yes, Gaurav actually just gave by what I was thinking of an answer. Any OEM which has launched a product in the past 6 months will see the benefit, because that hype which is created in the showroom, the inquiry levels, the booking levels have gone up, and because of those products which are launched and those are still not off the rack, it is waiting period, the customers are easily in that situation where the dealer can influence and shift to other model, other variants and all that. And as Gaurav has clearly said, Mahindra is in the best spot as of now because of Thar Rocks, and even 3XO been launched so much time, but still is having a lot of variants which are waiting period. So there are other companies who have also launched, they'll also see the better thing. But I feel naming some is not a good thing. Let's hope every OEM is able to sell the best what they can, and the dealers are not at least wiped off of the inventory, but at least in a good spot of the inventory.
Absolutely, and we totally appreciate your sentiment behind what you're saying. Both of you gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us on The Big Story this evening. So the word that's coming out at this point in time seems to be that demand is likely to pick up very soon, and hopefully car makers will have a great festive season. Thank you very much for joining in on The Big Story this evening. Well, that's a wrap on The Big Story, but do stay with us on NDTV Profit for more. And thank you, Tushar, to you as well for joining us on The Big Story.